Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we got something a little bit different. I finally hit 1K LP Challenger, and as you can see right now I am 1011 LP, and this video is just gonna be my journey of playing League of Legends, some tips and tricks of how I climbed, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Alright, so this video is just gonna be in one take. There's gonna be some mistakes, but we're just gonna go with it. So to start things off, my name is Light and Reset. I've been playing this game since I was 8 or 9 years old. I played at the end of season two. I am now 21 years old, and this is my journey of starting off bronze to getting to challenger. So as I said, I started playing season two, end of season two. I played through all the ranks. I went from bronze to silver, then I skipped gold to go to platinum, reached diamond for a couple seasons, like 3 seasons, I believe. Then got to masters for a few more seasons, and then after hit GM. After GM, switched my roles and all that stuff, and got to challenger. So I played through basically all the ranks. So I am your person to tell you that you can climb. Um, it was one hell of a journey, but we made it finally. So I started actually playing League of Legends as an ADC player. I used to play Ashe back in the day. After playing a lot of ADC when I was in silver, I played mid lane after. I became a Katarina one trick. I used to have a name called Resets Only as a Katarina player, and I was a one trick. I got to platinum. Then after platinum, I got to diamond. Um, After staying in diamond, I got to masters with Katarina. I was like below 50 LP masters, but I was consistently just doing that. I wasn't really climbing and improving. So I decided to pick up Lux. After picking up Lux, I started climbing to around 200, 250, 300 LP masters. So I was kind of like a two trick, and that's honestly how my name came to be, Light and Reset. Light stands for Lux, Reset stands for Katarina. So I just decided to keep it throughout my journey of League of Legends. I like the name. Um, but here I'm gonna tell you what I learned while climbing. And so, just from experience, like Masters below, in my opinion, you should just try to understand every champion, what they want to do, how they want to play, what do they need to succeed to win. You have to understand like micro, macro, mechanics of the champion, and much more. I suggest playing a limited amount of champions when you're playing like Masters below. I suggest honestly just like 5 champions or below. If you really want to climb to Masters or even to GM, you can honestly do that. Even with like one tricks or two tricks, people climb to GM Challenger with it. But I suggest 5 champions or below. I think you should be fine. You should always play for yourself for self improvement and to self carry, like to solo carry. Um, so primary, you want to focus on self-carrying, and then after secondary, focus on helping your team to carry. The reason why I say that is you don't want to put all your faith into your team, but you also don't want to neglect your team, right? You want to play to succeed, but you can't always put all your faith in them. So that's why I always say play for yourself, do what you need to do to carry, but just don't neglect your team fully, right? After Masters and below, once you start hitting GM and Challenger, I suggest expanding your champion pool. Always learn to improve. Do not have an ego. The ego is the worst thing to do when you're climbing. Even like taking criticism or taking another person's opinion on a situation that happened in the game, and you say, no, this is actually correct, or like, I believe I'm correct. Well, you can't say that. You need to take in their opinion. You need to understand where they're coming from, and it could help you in the future, even if they're wrong. Just having those options in mind of what you could have done to improve, keep them in there, right? Those are helpful tips. Um, because if you have an ego, you're not gonna climb, and that's how I was not climbing as a Katarina player. I was toxic, did not take any, tips or anything, and I was hard stuck masters below 50 LP. Um, But as of right now, I have around 20-ish champions for the support role that I play. Um, and for my secondary role is bot lane, I play kind of around the same amount just because I do have ADCs in my champion pool. I have mages in my champion pool, so APCs. I also have enchanters in the bot lane role. So I have quite a lot of a diverse champion pool depending on what we need for the team. Um, Play what you're good at and always play to improve. That's the bottom line. Um, so just how I play the game, just to tell you like my mental of like how I play. I'm always positive, honestly. Like I try to be at least. Like of course I have those downsides where I am toxic or I do try to type to my team and I get mad at them. But when that happens, I just try to self mute, and I've been doing that, and that's honestly how I got to 1K. Guess there's many many times where I got tilted and I was just like about to flame my team, but I just self mute. Self mute is a great thing, because even if you type, you can't even send it, right? And honestly, that helped a lot because if you're gonna type to someone and be toxic towards them, they're just gonna play worse. Like you're just destroying their mentality. You have to look at what they're trying to do. They're trying to stay positive themselves, right? So you just gotta self mute, focus on your game, just stay positive. If you can't say something positive, self mute. If you want to say something positive and help the team, unmute, right? You want to do what's best for you and your team. Um, as a person who mainly plays enchanters just for my play style, I you want to use your HP bar. You can't always be sitting in the back line just doing nothing. You're gonna not go anywhere in life because in this game, not in life, but in this game, you have to use your HP bar because if you're sitting in the back in lane and your ADC is the only one like in front of you, like they're going to take all the damage. You need to be side by side with them. You need to be poking the enemy with your abilities. Enchanters are really freaking strong in the early game. They have the same amount of damage as anyone else because it's early, but they also have a strong trading capabilities because of their healing and shielding power, right? So you need to make sure that you abuse that, and you need to play proactively. You need to play aggro sometimes. Doesn't mean just go in face first. It means understanding your spacing, your kiting, your max range abilities, cast range, and poke the enemy out, right? You want to get a lead early. So don't be afraid to use your HP bar, use your poke, play aggressive sometimes, and don't be afraid to roam. A lot of enchanter players just sit bot lane and their whole team gets screwed over because they're not roaming. Find a good roaming timer and roam for your team for an objective, for a fight, for a play. You can't just stay bot lane. You're not going to go anywhere with that. So as I said, I started playing ADC, then I was a mid lane main, then I actually moved to top lane, and for top lane, I was 675 LP Grandmaster top lane player. But for top lane, I was an off meta person. So I played Janna top, I played Soraka top, and Happy Chime Noises made a video about me for my Janna top because I was solo killing enemy top laners. A lot of people, they get upset when they see an off meta pick in their game. But as a person who played a solo killing Janatop who kills literally almost anyone by themselves and killing like the best mechanically players out there like Crimson and all these other pro players, like people need to respect off meta that they're doing the same thing that they're supposed to and meant to do in that role, but just on a different champion. Unless like it's like let's say a bard, right? If there's a bard that's just like roaming and not doing anything and giving all the waves, or if there's a Janna that's just roaming and like giving all her towers, giving all the farm, and they're at the Nexus at 15 minutes, like sure, that's honestly reportable if I have to be completely honest with you. But if they're playing in their lane and they're playing their role properly, like people need to not be in that mindset of just like, oh, they're trolling. Like they're doing their job, right? And I always thrived and always wanted to grow that off meta isn't something that's reportable. It's something that if it works, it works. But if you're actually trolling, then you're trolling, right? And so as a Janna top player and a Soraka top player, like I appreciate all the positivity that comes through my way whenever someone likes my picks, but it's not always bright. There's always been negatives. Um, I've been told that, oh, I'm gonna int you every game that I see you in my lobby, and I literally have proof of individuals. I'm not gonna name them off, but they just int my games for no reason. Just because I played an off meta pick, I was winning my lane, and they said, still, you're the reason why we lost, even though every single other lane is losing, but I'm winning. Just because I have an off meta pick, they blame me. I've had death threats. I've had your account's gonna get banned. I just been harassed. It's not always positive, but you have to stay positive and you have to just mute them and you want to play your game. Overall, at the end of the day, a lot of people hate when I say this, but League of Legends is a video game, right? You play a video game to have fun. Even if you have your tilt moments, you still enjoy the game because you always come back, right? And I enjoy the game. I come back and I like playing this game. So a lot of people get mad at that because saying, "Oh, you're not tryharding." Well, I am tryharding. I just want to have fun while I play the game, so I pick picks that I enjoy and I climb with, and I'm doing good. As you can see, I literally reached 1011 LP Challenger. Like, you can do it. Play what you want to play and have fun with it and climb. Like, there's literally no reason for you to be toxic. Play the video game to play the video game. So as an enchanter player, my secondary role that I always used to do was top lane or mid lane, and I would play my enchanters in the top lane or mid lane role. Um, I recommend this due to certain reasons, because if you do this, it helps you understand what your solo laners need to do to win the game and what they need and their resources. Understand your kiting and your spacing capabilities. So understanding like max range of your abilities, understanding your kiting and your spacing and your auto attacks so that you can get off your abilities and autos off, but the enemy doesn't get them off, correct? So that's why I recommend mid lane or top lane as your secondary. But on the other hand, I suggest going bot lane as your secondary because you'll understand what your ADC needs and wants. You'll grow your champion pool for ADCs, mages, enchanters in the bot lane role. You'll understand what they need to succeed, right? You're just on the other hand of it. So when you play support, you'll understand what they need, what resources they need to win the game, right? So ADC, mid lane, top lane, whatever you want to do, they all have their positives as your secondary role. And honestly, I suggest maining them for a bit. Maining that role for a bit helps you be consistent in what you need to succeed and you understand that. So when you go back to support, you know what you're supposed to do. You know what helps your team to win, right? So honestly, that benefited me a lot for playing four roles. The only role that I don't play is jungle. If I'm playing jungle, I may be trolling. So autofill, please don't put me jungle. Put me any other role, please. um, and lastly, honestly, duoing. A lot of people say the duo curse and that you always lose when you duo, but I don't have fun playing League of Legends when I'm playing solo queue. And I completely understand that because I've been there. There's just times where you need to find a duo that's consistent and has the right mindset that I told you, and you guys will climb because those who just give up or just are very negative will affect your gameplay and your mentality in the long run and even possibly the short run. And you'll change, and that's what happened to me, and I don't want that to happen to anyone else. So you need to find a duo that's very consistent, has a positive mindset, and you guys have fun playing together, and you guys will climb, right? um for supports, I suggest dueling with a jungler because support and jungle, in my opinion, are the most impactful roles in the game, or dueling with an ADC player. So you guys can just dominate a lane. And that leads me to how I actually got out of low masters this season was due to Arin. Um, they helped me a lot climb out of low masters just because low masters, in my opinion, has a very wide range of skill level, and I just never had someone consistent in my team. So I was losing a lot. I was negative win rate. But after I dueled with they played APC Lux. And so right when we dueled together, we just completely stomped the enemy bot lane and we just solo carried the game basically. And they got me to we got each other to around like 350 400 LP masters. After that, we I climbed all the way up to challenger 1K LP. So I do appreciate them, and you just need to find the right person for doing. The dual curse is just for the bad players that you're not compatible with. But that is my journey for how I climbed all the way to challenger over 1000 LP. I hope you guys do enjoy. If you guys do want coaching, I do coaching. If you guys want details about it, just go in the bio in the video. Just click the Discord link and then send me a DM, and after I'll send you all the details about coaching. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day and take care. Bye.